Let me be blunt. If you're over 60, there's a good chance you have certain vegetables in your fridge that you think are healthy, but are actually accelerating your aging process. I learned this the hard way, watching my own father, a man who followed every health guideline, become a shadow of his former self due to relentless joint pain. What I uncovered in my own research turned mainstream nutritional advice for seniors on its head. Make sure you hear me out, because the last vegetable I'll expose is a staple in most kitchens, and it's secretly draining the life out of you. Here's a hard truth most of the health industry won't tell you directly. The rule that all vegetables are good for you expires as you get older. Your body at 70 is not the same machine it was at 30. It's a different operating system. The very foods that were once your fuel might now be the source of your body's inflammation. After my dad's health declined, I became obsessed. He ate his salads, he avoided junk food, he did everything right. Yet the inflammation, the joint agony that stole his sleep, and the fatigue that blanketed his days only got worse. It took me years of digging into geriatric nutrition to find the truth. We've been giving our seniors the wrong fuel. As you age, your digestive system weakens, you produce less stomach acid, your gut's ecosystem changes, your body's ability to handle certain plant compounds plummets. The foods you're eating to prevent health problems might be the very things causing them. The first offender, the first vegetable that is secretly sabotaging seniors is the tomato. I know it sounds insane. Tomatoes are in our sauces, our salads, our stews. But this is what happens inside an older body. Tomatoes are loaded with glycoalkaloids like solanine. When you're young, your liver filters these out like a champ. But as your liver's detoxification power wanes with age, these compounds don't get flushed out. Instead, they build up in your joints, triggering the very inflammation that shows up as stiffness, pain, and achy mornings. I challenge you, if you suffer from arthritis, keep a food journal for 2 weeks. Note when you eat tomato-based meals, the pattern you'll find will likely speak for itself. But it gets worse. Tomatoes are highly acidic, and an aging body has a harder time managing its acid-alkaline balance. To neutralize this constant acidic onslaught, your body has to find alkaline minerals. So it leaches them from where they're stored: calcium from your bones and magnesium from your muscles. That innocent-looking tomato on your plate could be contributing to weaker bones and more muscle cramps. I once had a conversation with a rheumatologist who casually remarked, "It's funny, so many of my worst arthritis cases eat a ton of tomatoes." He shrugged, "But the official advice is to eat more vegetables, so I don't say anything." That's when it hit me. The evidence is right in front of us if we're willing to see the individual, not just the guideline. The second offender, the second vegetable quietly undermining senior health, is raw spinach. This one is tough because we've all been programmed to see spinach as the ultimate health food. Popeye made it a symbol of strength. But for a senior, that daily raw spinach salad is a problem, and the reason is a single word: oxalates. Oxalates are tiny crystal-forming compounds. In a younger body with strong kidney function, they're mostly filtered out. But in a senior's body, the kidneys aren't as efficient. When you eat high oxalate foods like raw spinach day after day, these sharp little crystals start to accumulate. They can settle in your joints, causing pain that feels exactly like arthritis. They can form kidney stones, and they bind to minerals like calcium and iron in your gut, stopping you from absorbing them. Think about that. You're eating healthy spinach, but it's preventing you from getting the very minerals you need. And here's the most insidious part. The symptoms of oxalate overload are what doctors call normal aging: joint pain, fatigue, brain fog. So you're dutifully eating your spinach salad, feeling worse, and being told it's just your age. These calcium oxalate crystals don't just hurt your joints, they sabotage your energy at the source. They can disrupt your mitochondria, the power plants inside your cells. So that crushing afternoon fatigue you blame on getting older, it might just be your healthy lunch. I ran a small experiment in my local community center. I got a group of seniors to cut out raw spinach for 1 month. The results were informal but staggering. Most reported a noticeable lift in energy and a decrease in daily aches and pains. This isn't a peer-reviewed study, but it's real-world feedback that's hard to ignore. The third offender, the third vegetable that's making you age faster, is the bell pepper, especially the red, yellow, and orange ones. This feels wrong, I know. They look so vibrant and full of life, and every nutritionist promotes them. But for an older body, they're a double-edged sword. First, bell peppers are nightshades, just like tomatoes, so they carry those same inflammatory alkaloids. But they have another, more modern problem: they are one of the most pesticide-laden vegetables you can buy. Year after year, the Environmental Working Group lists them on their dirty dozen list. Why does this matter more for a 70-year-old than a 30-year-old? Because your liver, your body's main detox organ, loses horsepower over the years. A pesticide load that a younger body could handle becomes a toxic burden for you. These chemicals can build up in your body's fat stores, including your brain, and are linked to cognitive issues, hormonal imbalances, and systemic inflammation. But even if you buy organic, bell peppers are packed with lectins. Lectins are sticky proteins that can irritate the gut lining. As we age, our intestinal wall can become more leaky or permeable, making us more sensitive to these lectins. The result, bloating, gas, and a low-grade inflammatory response that your body translates into, you guessed it, joint pain and fatigue. I saw this firsthand with a friend, an active woman in her late 70s who ate a huge salad with bell peppers every day. She was plagued by bloating and stiff knees. On a whim, she cut out the peppers. Within a month, her digestion was calm and she said her knees felt oiled for the first time in years. Ancient wisdom knew. What's incredible is that none of this is truly new. Traditional healing systems have understood this for centuries. In traditional Chinese medicine, it's a given that food choices must adapt to your stage of life. In Ayurveda, the principle is that our digestive fire, Agni, weakens with age, so we need foods that are easier to break down. We lost this nuanced wisdom in our modern, one-size-fits-all approach to nutrition. We wrote dietary rules for a hypothetical 35-year-old and applied them to everyone. Traditional cultures knew that for seniors, raw, cold foods like spinach salads and crisp peppers were cooling and dampening to an already slowing system. They instinctively favored warm, cooked foods that support digestion and energy. This isn't folk medicine, it's a sophisticated understanding of human physiology over a lifespan. The first healer. Now let's talk about what to eat instead. Here are 3 vegetables that can genuinely help rebuild your vitality. The first is ginger root. Yes, I count it as a vegetable. Ginger is arguably the most potent anti-inflammatory agent in the entire plant kingdom for seniors. Unlike the vegetables I just warned you about, ginger's benefits are amplified in an aging body because it directly targets systems in decline. It boosts your digestive fire, enhances circulation, and its active compounds, gingerols, are brilliant at calming the chronic low-level inflammation that is the hallmark of most age-related disease. But what makes ginger a superstar for joint health is this: it doesn't just mask pain, it may actually help rebuild cartilage. Studies suggest ginger can stimulate the production of the building blocks for joint repair. This isn't a painkiller, this is potential healing, and the circulatory boost is vital. As we age, blood flow tends to diminish, meaning fewer nutrients reach our tissues. Ginger is like an internal furnace, warming you up and pushing blood and nourishment to starve joints and muscles. My advice is to use fresh ginger root, not the dead powder in a jar. Slice it and make a tea, grate it into your soups, or add it to a stir fry. Ginger is powerful, so start small. A small slice about the size of your thumbnail is a perfect daily dose to start. The second healer. The second healing vegetable for seniors is the sweet potato. This will reframe how you think about energy. Seniors are often taught to fear carbs, to go low carb to control blood sugar. This can be terrible advice for an aging body. Your brain's primary fuel is glucose, and when seniors cut carbs too drastically, brain fog and memory issues can worsen. Sweet potatoes offer the perfect solution: smart, complex carbohydrates. The fiber in them ensures a slow, steady release of energy, preventing the blood sugar spikes and crashes you get from simple carbs. They're packed with beta-carotene, which your body converts to vitamin A, essential for aging eyes, your immune system, and skin health. They're also rich in potassium, which is critical for heart health and preventing muscle cramps. But here is the magic part: sweet potatoes are one of the few foods that become even healthier when you cook them. The cooking process unlocks their nutrients, making them easier for an older digestive system to absorb. This is the exact opposite of many other vegetables. I recommend roasting them whole, with the skin on. The skin has extra fiber that your gut will love. Eating them warm also aids digestion. Many seniors I've worked with find that adding a portion of sweet potato to their evening meal dramatically reduces fatigue and improves their stamina. The third healer. The third healing powerhouse is fermented cabbage, sauerkraut, or kimchi if you enjoy some spice. This might seem odd, as raw cabbage can be tough for seniors to digest, but the magic is in the fermentation. This ancient process essentially pre-digests the cabbage, breaking down the tough fibers while cultivating a rich ecosystem of beneficial probiotics. For the senior gut, this is nothing short of a revolution. As we get older, our good gut bacteria decline, which can lead to poor digestion, a weaker immune system, and even affect our mood. Fermented cabbage acts like a reseeding program for your gut garden. And these probiotics don't just stay in your gut, they have a body-wide anti-inflammatory effect. The gut-joint connection is real. When you heal the gut, the joints often follow. Fermented cabbage is also a fantastic source of vitamin K2, a nutrient often missing from modern diets. Vitamin K2's job is to act like a traffic cop for calcium. It tells calcium to go into your bones and teeth and stay out of your arteries and soft tissues. This helps explain why someone can have osteoporosis and hardened arteries at the same time. The key is to find real unpasteurized sauerkraut in the refrigerated section of the store, one that says it contains live cultures. Or better yet, make it yourself. It's incredibly cheap and easy. Just start with a small amount, maybe a tablespoon with a meal, and let your system adapt. Your energy transformed. Let me show you what's possible when you make these simple swaps. Imagine waking up feeling supple and rested, not stiff and sore. Imagine going through your whole day without that 3 p.m. energy nosedive. Imagine having the vitality at night to pursue a hobby or connect with family instead of just collapsing on the couch. This isn't a pipe dream. This is the natural outcome of working with your body's biology, not against it. The inflammation that was draining your energy starts to quiet down. Your joints move with more ease. Your digestion becomes calm and predictable. Your sleep gets deeper because your body isn't fighting an internal battle all night. But the change isn't just physical. When your body isn't burdened by inflammation, your mind clears. The brain fog you thought was just a senior moment starts to lift. Your mood brightens. Because inflammation has a direct link to your brain chemistry. People tell me it feels like they've de-aged. They can get on the floor with their grandkids again. They can travel without fear. This isn't about living longer, though that might be a side effect. It's about living better, now facing resistance. I need to give you a heads up. If you bring this up with your doctor, you might get a blank stare. It's not because they're bad doctors, it's because the system they work in prioritizes pharmaceuticals over nutrition and offers one-size-fits-all advice. They'll likely repeat the mantra that all vegetables are good. They're trained to look at population-wide data, not at you as a unique individual. This is where you have to become the primary expert on your own body. I'm not telling you to abandon your doctor's advice. I'm telling you to become an active partner in your own health. Start a food and symptom journal. For 30 days, track what you eat and how you feel. Your energy, your pain levels, your sleep. The data you collect from your own body is more valuable than any generic guideline. You will see the patterns for yourself, the bigger picture. This whole vegetable issue is a symptom of a larger cultural problem. We've normalized decline. We've been sold the story that getting older automatically means getting frailer, itchier, and foggier. But that is a lie. I've met people in their 80s and 90s who are bursting with life. The difference isn't their genes, it's their choices. They instinctively or intentionally adapted their lifestyle to their changing body. The vegetables I've warned you about aren't bad. They are simply the wrong tool for the job. For many people over 60, eating at 70 the same way you did at 30 is like trying to wear your teenage clothes. Your body has changed, your needs have changed. This is empowering. It means your well-being is not a lottery, it's a choice. And small choices made daily create profound results. Navigating the world, you will face social hurdles. Your family might not understand why you're passing on the pasta sauce. Your friends might think you're being difficult at a restaurant. Here, you must anchor yourself in this truth: your health is not up for debate. You don't need to give a scientific lecture. A simple, tomatoes seem to flare up my arthritis, or I'm finding that cooked vegetables just feel better for me these days is enough. Find your allies. This could be an online community, a wellness-focused group, or just one friend who gets it. Having support makes the journey easier. The money question. I know what you're thinking. Is this going to be expensive? The answer is no. In fact, it will likely save you money. Fresh ginger is cheap and you only need a little. Sweet potatoes are one of the most cost-effective sources of nutrition on the planet. A large head of cabbage and some salt to make your own sauerkraut costs pennies per serving. More importantly, think of the money saved on pain relievers, digestive aids, and doctors' co-pays. When you invest in the right food, you are divesting from the sickness industry. You often find your appetite regulates itself better too, meaning you spend less because you're more deeply nourished. Your 5-year plan. I want you to close your eyes and think 5 years into the future. Do you see a version of yourself with more pain, less energy, and a smaller world? Or do you see someone who took control, who is active, clear-headed, and enjoying their freedom? That future is decided at your dinner table tonight. You don't need to overhaul everything at once. Just start with one thing. This week, simply remove one of the inflammatory vegetables. The next week, add in one of the healing ones. Listen to your body. It will tell you what's working. Remember this: getting older is a fact of life, but feeling old is a choice. Every single thing you eat is either fueling inflammation and decay, or it's promoting repair and vitality. There is no middle ground. The final truth. This is the most important thing I can tell you, the realization that changed everything for me. The reason so many seniors feel unwell is not because they lack information. It's because they have accepted a lie, the lie that aches, fatigue, and brain fog are a non-negotiable part of aging. But what if they're not? What if they are simply the symptoms of a mismatched diet? What if that's all it is? The most revolutionary act you can take is to believe you can feel better. You have so much more power over your daily well-being than you've been told. Those foods in your pantry are either building you up or breaking you down. The choice of which one to eat is yours, and the moment to decide is right now. Your body has served you for a lifetime. It's time to honor it with foods that match its current needs, not the needs of your younger self. You have earned the right to feel good, to be energetic, mobile, and sharp. This isn't a fantasy. It's your birthright, reclaimed through wise choices. The real question is not can you afford to change, it's can you afford not to. Every meal that continues the old pattern is a missed opportunity for healing, another day of discomfort that could have been avoided. Your future self is depending on you. Choose for them. Choose for life.